If we look now at this sort of setup, as we said, what we're looking for is just get a little bit more pelvic tilt there at address. Don't try and straighten your back upward to try and get your spine better. Your shoulders need to be here. If we push those hips backwards, it will get your back being straighter. It's not, stand up further. And when you stand up further, your arms are now further in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just more tilt in your spine. So the shoulders are actually fine by pushing your hips backwards and up, i.e. more pelvis tilt, you can get your back straighter. Okay? Where you are, there's not too bad. The swing thought, as we said, is going to be more to do with the lower half or the lack thereof movement you're trying to create. Okay? If you look at this is your left hand, was your before. As the club gets to about sort of hands about waist high, there's a lot of leg movement there now with that club. That knee's gone forward quite a lot. There's a lot of leg movement there in that initial stage. If we look at this one here now, as you go back, okay, your left knee is moving less. It's still moving a fraction more than potential we want, but it's moving less than it was. Okay, so at this position here now, the same position. There's your lower half movement. There's your lower half movement. So there's a gap now between your left leg and your right leg, okay, which is going to cause you to lose your balance forward a little bit. If we look at where your head starts on the left hand side when they're now, how it drops down quite a significant amount, okay. If we watch your head kind of on this one, it's kind of staying a little bit more in a little bit more exactly. And again, change you're going to make now are going to be more gradual. You're not going to go from where you were to go click like a light bulb and be perfect. It's just gradually getting to that sort of position we're looking to try and create, where we're getting a lot more.
Is the club too low as well?
No, that's fine. That's fine. The thing to me, only look and worry about one thing. If you worry about the club, your head, your arms, your knees, your feet, your shoulders, you'll stand over that golf ball with 17 body parts in your head and do nothing. And you just swing at it and hope for the best, and the ball will go all over the place. Okay. The focal point needs to be for you on what is the initial fault with your golf swing that's causing the ball to go where it's going to go, and we need to work on that movement there. So as you come back to the golf ball here now. Nice strike of the golf ball as you come back into it. Club working nicely down to the target line there. Good strike of the ball then sends through. Whereas this one here now, we sort of went a bit sort of steep with the legs, okay. Your body is starting to rise up. The ball now you can see is going off to the right there. And the ball goes off to the right there. Not quite as to be fair, this on the left, when you're doing your natural swing, your right foot started to move but then sort of hung back a little bit. This one didn't sort of move at all. So it's
am I changing your body weight?
Yeah, you're not changing as much. There should be a little bit of shift of weight. But as I said, don't worry about the shift of weight now, because if you try and shift your weight going through, your lower half won't work on the way back correctly. So you can't follow through properly. So if you're the first issue is your knees are doing this, and then when you swing back through, you stand up and do this. So your weight shift, it's impossible to transfer your weight. If you're here, if you transfer your weight.
Okay.
So if you try and transfer your weight but forget the fact these have got to work better, what you'll do is you'll go back to default with this and transfer your weight. I can't do that. It's impossible. So we've got to get the lower half working better so it starts working how it should work. Okay. And then we can focus on transferring the weight. Once this first movement now is working better, rather than being very leggy, we can get your backswing now to be more stable. So the lower half, the gap there is smaller between your legs. Okay. So your lower half is just working around as a result of your top half. Then you can then do the next stage. If you try and do 4 things at once, you do nothing. For me, it's about thinking that one thing. Again, for me, it's setup is the first stage. Was it okay? Bit more pelvis tilt needed. Okay. Backswing's the next stage. Is that okay? Once that becomes sort of second nature, then downswing, impact and follow through. If you try to change your follow through and you haven't done the backswing or the setup correctly, it's a physical impossibility to change your follow through if your backswing positions, in your case, that knee is doing this and this hip sort of popping up, you can't transfer weight. If you transfer weight from there, you'll bury that club into the ground and the ball just be that smothery, hooky, necky one that goes basically nowhere.
For that one, is it?
Exactly, So for you, it's about getting that the lower half to function better, maintain it. So when you're swinging the golf club back now, it's more shoulders and the club taking it away, and the lower half just follows. It doesn't not move, it just moves in accordance with the top half. It's not an independent movement by itself. When you were doing this with your knee there, that knee for me now is working independently. It's actually going out towards the goal ball, isn't it? Your knee's going this way when the club was trying to go around this way. So the knee's not going round with the top half, the knee's going towards the golf ball. And your knees are sort of going like this back and forth rather than twisting. So that's going to be the key. Get your lower half working better, make some swings with you're just doing this with a takeaway. How far back can you go without your legs moving really at all? Okay, so it becomes more and more of an easier movement and less stress on the back.
So am I coming back okay?
Yeah, fine.
But so the takeaway is okay.
The top half is fine.
All
Okay.
right.
The lower half is.
This is okay. Straight is
Absolutely
fine.
Yeah. You're trying to analyse every inch of every golf swing, aren't you?
Yeah.
Very analytical person, aren't you? But the thing is, the golf swing is. If I said to you now, and I'm not going to tell you every single thing. If I said to you now, every single thing that is not so-called textbook, and that's the problem. People look at the thing, oh, that's wrong, and they'll read a magazine, look at the perfect swing.
Yeah.
Well, no one can physically make the perfect swing if we're honest. Okay. They'll then say, oh, my takeaway, oh, my hand, the club's doing this, and the hand, oh, that's wrong, and that club should be through the right shot, and that should be there, okay, and then that needs to be better than there, and then the sake of, from when that club started the golf ball here now at 5.8 to 6.9, so just over a second, we're trying to think about 3 or 4 different things already. Now on the way down, you go, okay, I got to try and, my right knee's got to do this, my hand's got to drop, the club's got to come from the inside, my head's got to stay there, I'm doing this, and now it's 7.3, so less than half a second.
Yeah.
There's 4 more things. So you got 4 things in just over a second, and 5 things in half a second. You're not going to do it, are you?
No.
Your brain can't think of 9 things in 1.5 seconds. It's got to be a sequence of, here's my setup, get that lower half working better. If the lower half works better there, the rest can kind of just blend into itself. And what you find is one swing thought can cure a lot of things.
Yeah, right.
The issues or the errors in the swing often come from when your knees are doing this. Your knees do this, your hands are going to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
The club goes in a different direction when the hands go right. So all these different moves you're making very often come from the ground up when the knees aren't working correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
So work on that better.
Okay.
That'll help things out. Okay, make sense then, yeah?
Yeah, so a lot of that is in the takeaway then. So
yeah, this has to turn and this just follows, okay? Don't try and independently move body parts.
Right.
They just blend and follow round with each other. Okay.